Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we are looking at a fully trimmed dashboard fascia and dash top crash roll kit for the Jaguar XK150s. Now this is strictly speaking for a XK150 fixed head coupe and it's for a right hand drive car, as done by the sort of glove box on the passenger side with the lid and then the smaller glove box and the steering wheel column on the right hand drive. Obviously we have all the left hand drive patterns as well. It's worth noting that the open two-seater road set and the drop head coupe models had similar kits, but ever so slightly different, but the overall concept of them is exactly the same, so it's a decent guide for all of the XK150s effectively. And what we've got here is a fully trimmed kit using the customer's original hardware. A couple of pieces have been replaced as well. You can see some of the original stuff in the background there, so everything forward of my hand there is the new kit there. Now standardly we supply what we refer to as a retrim kit for these, so it's materials cut to shape, sewn if applicable, skived if applicable, for retrimming your original units. Obviously the glove box we can supply fully trimmed up, ready to go onto the back of the panels, but standardly we supply the retrim kits. The retrim kit is supplied as standard in our trim kit, as are the glove boxes. However, if you did want us to do the trimming work, like this customer here, you can send us your parts and we can sort that for you. We can also replace the latex foam used for the crash roll on the dash top there. That is always an optional extra, so that's never included as standard in the trim kit. It's always an optional extra, so bear that in mind. As with all of our YouTube videos, you'll see that what I try to do is on certain kits, we try to do a bit of ad hoc trimming for people to demonstrate how well our kits fit and also the sort of benchmark that you should be looking to achieve, whether it's yourself or a professional trimmer. Of course, we're always willing to help, but the reason for us doing these videos is to show and prove that our products do fit very well, as you can see here. So just bear that in mind. Key thing to remember with the restoration of interior trim for these cars is don't assume that all suppliers out there can do the same kits. They might call them the same things, they may say they use the same materials, but ultimately there is a lot of difference in the market out there. You can't really compare apples with apples, so just bear that in mind. That's exactly why I do this YouTube channel, so that we can show and prove how good our kits are. We have a great reputation worldwide and we have done for almost half a century now for our kits, so just bear that in mind. Anyway, let's dive on in. So referring to this book here, you can kind of see the various elements of the dash fascia and dash top areas. So this is what we're talking about here. Obviously the center panel here is grey, it's leather. It was always this sort of grey leather on the dash fascias on the XK150s. Obviously we can tailor that and make it a different colour if you want, but yeah, that fascia panel is leather and is grey. You can see the sort of trimming details on the instrument dial holes because they sort of taper in down there, so therefore we trim all the way around nice and neatly like that, whereas a lot of these other switch holes you get bits that cover over the actual hole, so they can be cut flush to those there. Then obviously you get the chrome surrounds on them there. The left and right fascias, obviously for a right-hand drive car, you have the steering wheel column on this side here, then you have the smaller glove box. The glove boxes on the XK150s were always a flocked green material. However, we can offer that in different materials if you prefer, so we can do a wool cloth headlining material or we can do some moquette. I've done various videos showing those options there, so please do check out the description below, which will have links to those videos. Again, fascia is leather trimmed. You have this little separate piece here, which is where the steering wheel column comes out. We've actually trimmed this up onto new woodwork because the customer's old woodwork, to glance at the front, was okay, but the back was really ropey around there. So we actually spoke to the customer and sort of said, look, you know, we can trim it, but we don't know about the long-term elements of it. And he figured, given how long he wants to keep the car for and everything, it was worth replacing that, so we replaced that for him. Then you obviously get this overdrive switch here, which is trimmed all the way around apart from on top there, because obviously it gets the finish plate on there for the overdrive switch. Worth noting as well at this point that we obviously have an in-house leather skiving machine, which allows us to thin down leather, which is perfect for elements like this. So things like that, some of these areas around here where skive leather, glove box lid here, skive leather is ideal for that purpose there. And our retrim kits come with skive leather as standard. So if we know that it's beneficial to skive the leather in order to obtain a better finish. We do that as standard, which is something that other companies purely do not have the capability to offer because they don't have an in-house leather skiving machine. So just bear that in mind. The passenger side, again, majority leather, apart from the back of the lid here, that's actually just vinyl there. But everything else, the fascia here is leather, and again, that skived leather there is fantastic for that purpose. Then you get the stitched finish around the opening there, and obviously you get the slightly bigger flocked green glove box there onto the back of it. That one there is actually done onto the customer's original woodwork because that was in decent condition, as was this one here. Then moving on to the crash roll dash tops, effectively 3 pieces. It's metal, obviously we've sort of redone it all, repainted, sandblasted, repainted, etc. We've replaced the latex foam which goes on the crash roll there. These are obviously sold separately, as I mentioned earlier, and they're sold in pairs as well. I've just got one of them out at the moment just to indicate that. So it's always worth, well, it depends on the condition of your current ones, but generally speaking, it's worth replacing those. It gives a much nicer finish, as you can see there. Leather again, it's 2 pieces of leather stitched together with a bit of piping, as you can see there. The inside edge there is left open, obviously, because that sits over the top of it like that. That's just a metal piece trimmed all the way around. Then you've got the demist vents here. Now the demist vents, the early and late cars changed. I think it was the early cars had chrome finishes there, and then the late ones had materials. It might be the other way around, but either way, there were 2 versions. There was a chrome finish one and a material finish one. We always include material as standard in our kits for retrimming that, but obviously if you have chrome ones, then you don't need that material. As you can see, these are the material ones. They are a pain to trim, so chrome ones are much easier. I don't think they're interchangeable though. I'd have to check my archive notes, but I'm fairly sure they're not, but just bear that in mind there. So trimming those with the materials supplied. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Obviously these are the customer's original bits and bobs here. And you can see the condition of the foam there. Originally they had these sort of millwall pieces on the top of the dash tops effectively there, but obviously all of that's been replaced on these ones here. That's the old glove box. You can see the old glove box, you can actually see the rivets through them, whereas on our versions it's all flocked over. And then the moquette and wallcloth ones, in my opinion, look even nicer actually, so it'd be worth checking out those videos. But yeah, hope you found that useful. Be sure to check out the description below, as it has lots of useful information about this kit, also where to buy the kit on our website, or inquire about it at least, and also some useful links to other videos showing similar kits that you may wish to consider for your XK150. There's also some good links to our handbook blog area on our website, which really does showcase how we do things, because we do things very differently and we're very proud of the way we do things. It's why we've got the reputation we have in the industry, and basically sort of showing that not everyone else out there, hardly anyone out there, can compete with us in terms of quality and workmanship and our dedication to our craft, but also the accuracy and the understanding of how these pieces go in the car and the materials that should be used. We've invested heavily in technology and machinery to make sure that we can offer the best and most suitable kits for either yourself to trim, a professional trimmer to do so, or obviously if you want to send us the bits and bobs, then we can do that on an ad hoc basis. But yeah, this should always be the benchmark that you're looking to achieve here. What we're keen to do is make sure that people understand that our kits are not like other people's on the market, which are inconsistent and normally poorly made and don't fit. If you're having issues fitting one of our kits, then you should refer to these videos. And of course, if you're still a little stuck, get in contact with us. We're more than happy to help you if you've used one of our kits. Often it's just a matter of understanding the concept of how they go in a car, as opposed to assuming that the kit has been made wrong. We standardise all of our kits in-house on the CNC that I'm on at the moment. Anyway, enough on that. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts, and be sure to tune in next time. Cheers.